So, little bit of preamble here. I was looking for some kind of content to do an afternoon stream on, and I decided to type in Dinosaur Adventureland, sort by most recent in YouTube, and I stumbled across an hour-long video of someone who visited the park about 6 months ago. Didn't realize after I went and looked at their channel that I'd actually watched a video of theirs previously. And decided it wasn't worth doing anything on. Had I don't know, get mixed feelings from the guy. But what we are going to do real quick as I start is show the video. Well, show me looking at the video that I had caught a number of months ago. So this was back in December. He had uploaded this. The guy is Serge, the car hauler. Most of his channel's car videos and such. You like cars, cool. Not my thing. I like machines, but I'm not super into cars to any degree. Um, and you see here, I just stopped in the middle where he happens to be holding up Kent's chart, and he's watching Kent on his screen in a camper or whatever. Truck, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't quite get the title, but if you go through comments, you eventually end up finding some of our friends in here, like Rosina, and a few other names that I recognize. Now, in the video, we're actually going to watch this one where they go to DAL. And like I said, it's an hour-long video. If we head down here, we actually have Claude having commented. What in the world? Tell me more with regards, he falsely claims doctor and has no math or science qualifications. And it's amazing that, you know, I say it's amazing, but it's honestly, should be expected that people truly are unaware of how scummy Hovind is. I say, it shouldn't be surprising that they don't know that, given that these people who follow him don't even know about his YouTube channel getting deleted even now. They're like, where is he? I can't find him. And it's like, yeah, you're about 5 months late, buddy. Um, so, that's more of why we do what we do regarding Kent, is to basically flood the internet with content, calling him out in one capacity or another, demonstrating who he actually is, what his beliefs actually are, what he actually does, or more correctly, in some cases, doesn't do, and to just create a sense of awareness that if you're gonna be religious, you're gonna be creationist, you're gonna get involved in all this stuff, at least stay away from Hovind. At the very least, for the safety of yourself and loved ones. Anything else being involved with Hovind will only end in tears. But yeah, with this stream, we're going to look at the video that our friend Serge here, Serg, I don't know, however he wants to pronounce it, I just ain't heard it spoken, that he did on DAL. Again, this was October 21st of 2024 that he uploaded this. So I actually might be able to find the stream that he apparently was in of Kent's if I go back far enough, but I really can't be bothered to. But I probably could find it if I wanted to. Any case, yeah, we're going to look at what DAL was like approximately 6 months ago. So this is going to be probably one of the most current looks at just what it's actually like being at DAL. And of course, in this case, it's going to be a known supporter of Kent or someone who otherwise is positively receptive of Kent's ideas and the like. So we'll see how they're treated. Also, just noticed the big dino is done in sort of a bony, I want to say font. It's hand painted, but it looks like bones. Anyway, enough stuff. Let's get to it.
DrDino.com, Dinosaur Adventureland Creation Museum, 555855 Big Dino. To the right.
I'd like to remind everyone that my request for a toll-free number, 244-3536, or 8 or whatever, 8XX big dildo, none are available, so I cannot get that in a toll-free number, which means I'll just try harder for like maybe a local number or something. Just wanted to let everybody know since it got brought up. Well, the phone number got brought up. Let's continue.
Right. That's where we're going to turn right now. Go check it out. We got this other side of the sign is a big dinosaur saying turn left. So yeah, not often do I pass through this area and have a chance to look and
Sure as hell looks like middle of nowhere, Alabama.
go. So let's go check it out. Okay, pulling up to the next turn. Experience the adventure. Dinosaur Adventure Land. It's a dirt road.
So I should note that the way he's turning, he's coming south and hanging a left onto Pearl Lane. The property he's facing is what Cindy owns / did own. The Pine Mazda or whatever trailer park deal, and the house that Steve Lynn just ruined and stuff. Yeah, it's right there.
Let's check it out. What
A billboard that 12 people a year see.
really happened to the dinosaurs? Well, there it is. Dinosaur Adventure Land. It says free sand. So here.
I will applaud for the free sand. It's like, yes, come get some sand. Would you want sand from Dinosaur Adventureland? I would. I would love to have a glass container with DAL sand. Just one of those weird things. They'd go great setting aside my piece of sidewalk stone from out in front of Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment complex site. I own weird stuff. Let's continue.
We are inside, walking around looking for a good place to park.
Did you need to spend the night too here?
No. We're gonna get on our way, but
No, deviant. Must have just got in after I got done. This is a dude, Sergey, Sergey, the car hauler. Some dude who I guess is sort of a Hovendite, but now no, I don't know. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that I'd seen another video of his and was just kind of like whatever on it. Says he was defending Kent, yet the video sounded like he wasn't going to. So I don't know. So we're just looking at this from a purely academic perspective of it being a document of DAL back on, in October of 2024.
It's free. So.
We'll spend, most of the day, I think. These are camping houses you can stay in? Cabins?
Yeah, all you gotta do is call me. You can use the Dinosaur Adventure phone, number, and dial 5. That goes to reservation.
Oh, okay.
Or you can call me in person.
Awesome.
I take care of all the reservations.
Awesome. And camping spots, huh?
Camping and hospitality.
Spots.
I'm going to be extremely nice to the to Sergey here, Serge. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Someone want to fill me in on Captain S here, the car hauler, because he's not the subject of this. He just recorded this, so he's just the middleman. And I appreciate preemptively us being able to use this footage without any issues. But I do want to say, I really wish when people have cameras with with stereo mic sets on them, where they're doing basic, documentary filming like this of just, what's going on, that when they edit the video, they down mix to mono, because having the constantly shifting and panning audio like a crappy ASMR video, it's unpleasant. I always down mixed all of my videos in my previous surge of videos on YouTube. Surge. I'd always down mix the audio for that very reason. I didn't want everyone getting left channel blowout.
It's for campers there, huh? Oh, look, we're walking on the sidewalk with dinosaur footprints and man footprints.
Yeah, these are Nephilim footprints. They're huge.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, to be real, that's crude but relatively clever. I kind of like that insofar as aesthetically it works for me.
Yeah, some ducks.
Turkeys running around somewhere, and peacocks are those chickens too.
Chickens. Turkeys and... Oh, look at the pony, huh?
Okay, so that's the other gate right there.
Sure.
That way you'll miss that lump. You'll
Yep.
drive over it, but
Okay.
pretty much miss
And
that
so
lump.
they can still access if they need to. How's this tractor? Is it running?
And of course, our boy gets excited with the tractor. It's like, hey, internal combustion engine, wheels, metal, machine. I'm 100% behind that, bro.
Kind of, I think somebody's working on it, but it's more of an antique type of thing.
Yeah.
If someone wants to just buy it as is.
You know, I got a mechanic friend with us.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you could put us to work today.
Oh.
But
Too. Okay,
Okay, thanks for letting me know this this guy's is cool for a creationist. All right. I'll definitely make note of that. So hey there, Serge. If you do check this out, what's up, man? You got good people saying you're good, so I'm all right.
we're always looking for mechanics.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or say I'm all right with you.
So this is for sale, huh? A case tractor.
Like I said, it's old.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, like I said, you can park all the way
Yep.
up right here by the gutter if you like.
Okay.
Or you could.
Yeah, and let's walk up here just so I know how I'll get.
I gotta say the American flag is pretty funny, given given Ken Hovind's a soft sit. You know, just always amuses me.
It out, you know.
Okay. Well,
But-
what I was thinking is, if you go out here, there's a big area.
My name's Serge.
Serge.
And yours again?
Titus.
Titus.
Okay, so it's Serge. I wanted verification on that. I'm glad he said it. And so that would be Titus, the voice we're hearing. Okay, we're building faces to names to people. This is the stuff we miss watching Kent's videos. We don't get too much of around the park. Honestly, I'd kind of enjoy seeing that. Y'all recall I was covering the Science Center videos, and I thought those would be cool, but they hadn't continued since the other channel got deleted, so can't really do much on those. So, you know, maybe this is about the best we can do with experiencing what DAL's like without going there.
It's nice to meet you. Look
Yeah,
at
he's
this
a
guy,
turkey.
huh?
Yeah, you can actually you can come right here.
They're pretty friendly.
Yeah. See, look. Really good
Oh.
guy. You can put your hand right here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, painting a turkey, petting a turkey's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, they're like, hey, wait a minute.
Do they like Thanksgiving?
I don't think they even know what Thanksgiving is.
Laura, this is from circa 6 months ago, because the upload is October 21st, and this guy's uploads are pretty straightforward. Because his other Ken Hovind content is from the same time, and he was apparently on the show, quote unquote, at the time. So yeah.
Right? Huh? Right? Okay.
And there's his girlfriend, huh? Wife?
I
No.
have no idea. They got 3 males and 2 females. Oh, people working, this and this and that. But when you look really in, you know how the closer you are, the people are about this big.
Look at these guys. So yeah, kind of a nice place to go camping. Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful. We've eaten them. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. I hear the voice of Hovind.
Go for that one. Go for.
This is their radiator where they get rid of body heat. It's
Oh yeah.
really hot.
All the cooling gets pumped up there, huh?
Yeah, feel it. It's hot.
Oh yeah,
Down
he's
here
warm.
especially.
Yeah. Oh
Hovind wants you to feel down there. It's hot.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
She doesn't like to get petted.
She likes to investigate.
Quick part of the tour anyway.
Let's go. Yeah, women do strange things. But, you know. Yeah. Okay. Hi, well, we're at Dinosaur Adventureland with Dr. Kent Hovind.
Okay, if Ken Hovind is already like 6'1" or something, how tall is Surge? Because, good God, man. You're making Hovind look small.
Phoenix, Alabama.
And we drove the car hauler here, passing by, and we're going to see the tour. How you been doing, Ken?
God is good. Some of God's kids drive me crazy. But
Yeah.
God is good.
I say children.
Here, turn this way and see the our science center. You get to take
Yes.
a tour of that. 12,000 square feet, all stuff on science in the Bible. Our church here, Genesis Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
What year is it?
07.
Yeah, they still have the side-by-sides. They only recently got the Jeeps. This will help me looking at aerial imagery of DAL, because I've been trying to map out everything as best I can, at least in a precursor, mental mapping kind of thing, before I actually like submit something just for the fact that I like maps. So this will help a lot.
07 Jeep throwing codes and throttle body issue, huh?
Well, Nick would know. We got to get a battery for it. It died. So always something. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm into old diesels.
Okay.
So we're going to take this Jeep on the tour. What do you think, Ilya? Where have we gotten ourselves into? Look, they got a Willys Jeep.
Uh-oh, here we go. Ken Hovind driving like a bat out of hell.
No seatbelt?
Alabama.
Yeah. I'm not trusting Ken with with this ride. I've seen your videos before.
We have 140 acres, 56 hectare. They were donated to us 8.5 years ago.
Did he just say 56 hectare? I can't even be mad. That's some pompous shit my autistic ass would do. Fuck.
I bought it for $250,000 and gave it to us. There was nothing here except 3 little red buildings, 10 by 12 buildings, 2 bathrooms and a little office here. We added on to it many times. This was a gravel pit for many years. They were mining gravel out of here to make county roads. 2 ladies stopped a couple years ago and said, "Can we build you a barn?" Yeah.
Kent, did you paint over the woman's sign thing with just yourself?
Let's go to the barn for a second. A chicken with a...
Hold up. Or is it? Oh, no, there's a silhouette on the background. Okay, so I don't know. I can't remember how the sign was. Stuff's weird, yo.
Yeah. So let's go to the barn for a second. A chicken with a 10-foot long tail. A yellow chicken, black chicken, white chicken. All the chickens might have had a common ancestor called
A chicken.
Yeah, chicken. It doesn't prove they're related to bananas.
Yes.
Oh, gee. How do they teach that stuff?
Yeah.
Come over your walk. They're not potty trained. Okay, we'll go up to the North 40. You know why punk rock singers always keep chickens in their yard?
No.
Punk rockers always keep chickens in their yard to teach their kids how to walk.
Man, that was lame.
Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. 3 or 4 vehicles at a time, you know.
And you could pull a trailer with this, no problem. Stuff like that.
When we got the property, I asked the guy why the tires are in a circle.
Yeah, took me a moment to realize that too, but yep. Jurassic Park, that's what they're going for.
Around that pond. He said that's a racetrack for racing riding lawnmowers.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of that?
It's a redneck thing to do.
It is.
Russians haven't caught on yet, but...
And there's our turd of Turbo, an African spurred tortoise. He's huge. He's probably in there trying to stay warm. There are 49 different kinds of turtles in the world, and they might have had a common ancestor called a turtle.
A turtle.
You know,
Boy, how many times are we going to hear that?
A reptile.
but the textbook says the turtle is related to the sunflower.
Oh.
Oh yeah, turtles and sunflowers and kangaroos and elephants and
Oh my god, he brings the chart with him.
cockroaches. They're all the same.
And he does all this as if people coming to DAL haven't already seen his spiel. I don't think anyone just stops at DAL out of curiosity and actually sticks around.
That's so stupid. Well, turtles, today the world's biggest turtle is 5 feet. But they find fossil turtles 15 feet. Well, how do you explain that? Very simple. The Bible says, before the flood came in the days of Noah, the people lived to be 900 years old. Read Genesis chapter 5. Adam was 930. Reptiles never stop growing.
That's right.
What would happen to a turtle if he could live to be 900?
He'd grow really big.
Yeah, 15 feet, right. So the fossils that we're finding in the ground are from the flood. They're not from millions of years ago. They're from Noah's flood.
I have to remind myself that I have a turtle less than 15 feet away from me. How you doing, Lucky? He's burrowed in the ground. At least I'm pretty sure it's a he. He's a baby.
Now we had 4 emus donated to us. You see one out there on the dam?
Oh, yeah.
One of the emus was not very friendly, and so he ended up on the Thanksgiving dinner table a couple of years ago. And the other 3 now are very friendly.
That's my Ferrari holler.
Ferrari holler, awesome.
Ah, yes, Kent. Laugh about animal murder. I mean, you know, I'm a carnivore. I'm a carnivore. I'm an omnivore. I'm not a vegetarian or vegan. I've got chicken right in front of me. But still, I don't laugh about it.
You can stop, I'll open the door to the trailer.
Sure.
You can see what a real SUV is. Just kidding. I have 2 new Ferrari SUVs in there.
Feet per second. That's about 750 mile an hour. It's called the sound barrier, or Mach 1. If an airplane goes faster than that, you hear a loud boom. Well, there's over 5,000 feet in a mile, so it takes sound about 5 seconds to go 1 mile. If you see lightning strike, you start counting. If you hear it 5 seconds later, the storm's 1 mile away. But that's the speed of sound in air. Sound goes 16 times faster through steel.
Wow.
You can lay your head on a train track and hear the train 5 miles away.
Wow.
Sound goes 20 times faster through granite rock. The Indians knew that. They'd lay their head on the ground where a big rock was and hear the buffalo 5 miles away. You ever hear people say, keep your ear to the ground? That's what it's about. The problem is, sound spreads out so fast. You can hear me talking this way, and you can hear me when I'm talking this way because the sound spreads out. If you can catch all that sound and focus it in a beam, like a flashlight does with light, you'd see something interesting. You can take a tiny light bulb in front of a big curved mirror. All the light goes the same way. Light bulb, big mirror. Well, you can do that with sound. If you stand in the right spot, called the focal point, and talk to a curved dish, it'll collect all your sound and make a beam. Here, both of you stand right back there.
Okay.
I'll have one of you stay here and talk this way, and it'll
Oh man, this is the dish. We finally get to experience the dish.
collect all the sound and make a beam you can hear 2,000 feet away.
Wow.
Wow.
Sound like you're standing
wanna
next
stay?
to me. Right.
Huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I hear that.
Okay, you talk this way.
I honestly wonder how good it would do without the person in the way if you had just a small speaker there.
Well, we're going to go down to that one, 515 feet away, and talk back to you, okay?
Wow. Oh, okay.
That's how big Noah's Ark was, here to that gray dish. Then, we're going to say go to the other dish. That means you go over to this one.
This
To-
one, that one right there.
You start on this one first,
Okay.
and then go to that one, because I'm taking him to that orange one across the lake to talk to you, 1,500 feet away. So start off on this one. You talk and listen through that pipe.
Okay.
Stay here and talk to us through that, okay? For you.
Yeah. Oh, and what I need to say?
We have tried it in 78 languages.
Say Breaker 19. This is the rubber duck. You got a copy on me?
Breaker 19, this is Rubber Duck.
Now listen, we've tried it in 78 languages. The only one it won't work in is sign language.
Uh
And my tech guy is trying to fix that.
huh. Okay.
Yeah. This is true. I hate that I know that now and can verify that that is true.
Yes, I do. Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, this is insane.
Okay, all seriousness, because it's purely a matter of physics, that is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, you could set that up anywhere, and it'd work. But that is pretty cool.
So, Serge is right over there.
That's how big Goliath was.
Oh, really?
When David hit him in the forehead, Goliath said, nothing like that ever entered my mind before. Wow.
He ain't that big. I mean, look at it. You're right in range to hit him where it hurts. Just one good punch and he's down.
I'm up to his belt.
Yep. If you meet a guy like that, you should call him sir. Here you can try our swing called the Leap of Faith.
Dog walker, that's pretty damn cool. I need to look into that.
You pull the swing up to the tower and jump off. If you're really brave or stupid, you go from the very top.
Yulia, you're first.
Later you can do this. I did it off the top. I built the steps last week.
Yeah.
The purpose is to teach the difference between believing and trusting. There's a difference. When you're standing up there on top, you're thinking, I believe it'll work.
So, Deviant, does this mean that I've, entered a new level of this group? Am I being inducted in an Illuminati? Is that what this is? Can I finally start receiving my NASA shill paycheck? Because I need that money, damn it.
Okay, pick up your feet. You can feel the moment where you switch from believing to trusting when you pick your feet up. See, many people believe in God. They have him in their head. They never trusted him with their heart.
Taking action.
I was raised in a family of engineers and teachers. So I studied property carefully to see where should we put the big swing. I chose this place because right in here, if you fall, the ground will stop you. We thought that would be a good safety feature.
Yes, Kent. It's not falling that kills you, it's the sudden stop at the end.
Okay. This is a rose garden. It can kind of run over with weeds. There are over 320 different kinds of roses. They might have had a common ancestor. A rose.
And I'll bet you Cindy painted those roses. Why is it painting everything? You paint the turkey, you paint the rose. You planted those roses.
That's a flower, right? Well, the textbook says the rose is related to the beaver and the kangaroo and the elephant. All related. It's called stupid. Real stupid. Alright, see if our ducks are here.
Will someone tell Debbie to answer the damn phone? I need my payments. Tubi and Deviant. I was incidentally sent a link to the full 2-hour audio cut and actually was listening to it earlier. So I mentioned in Discord as well that I've heard all the stuff Kent watches in that video. It's interesting getting the chance to hear the man in his natural habitat, so to speak. That's all I'm going to say on things, though. Only 300 years? I thought it would be longer.
Usually about 50 of them, but they're scattered out all over. Come on out and see the signs here. 167 different kinds of ducks in the world. They might have had a common ancestor called a duck. That does not prove they're related to tomatoes. Now, before the flood came, people lived to be 900. Everything was bigger, even ducks. Here's the world's biggest duck fossil. Bigger than a horse.
Kent, that's not the world's biggest duck fossil. That's just a picture. You missed the opportunity for the joke, man. Come on. I was hoping you would make the joke. Dang, I'm disappointed.
And ducks can sleep with one eye closed and half their brain shut off.
Hovind goes through daily life with half his brain shut off.
How did that evolve? And when they fly in a V shape, they just know the front duck is doing all the work. All the rest of them get 30% better gas mileage. How? And there's no way ducks evolve for a million reasons, but one more you can add to your list. The male duck's penis is longer than his body. At the end of mating season, it falls.
Oh, there we go. He brought it up. Wasn't expecting him to, but he did. What a good Christian, man. Just bringing up duck phalluses just because.
Off and he grows a new one. I would like to know A, how that evolved, and B, what he thought about the first time it fell off.
Here they come.
Hey guys, come on. Here we go. Get a handful, hold it down low. Get it right out of your hand.
Did you know the ducks at Dinosaur Adventureland are free? You can just take them. I've got 167 Kent Hovind ducks. They all quack Hovind nonstop.
Take some, Lydia. You know, I made a simple prayer to God. It was like, you know, Kit and Knight Rider. Like I need you, pal, Kit. Right? Like one of those type of prayer. Like, God, just find her. Just find her. I'm tired of this. And guess what happened? COVID happened, and I couldn't fly to Europe to look for girls. And I ended up at a Russian church in Miami.
There you go. That's a
And
good
I
place to
met
find
her, and then I thought, hey, I gotta come back here and go on a date with her.
Yeah.
2 months later, we were married.
Hey, we put a skeleton.
I don't have commentary.
And here, her name is Anorexia, and she's waiting for the perfect man.
Waiting for the perfect man right there. Anorexia. Gotta take action. Go to church where all the good guys go.
In this pile of sticks, there's
Yeah, no comment. Being nice here.
the beaver family, and there are two different kinds of.
Ooh, that's foreboding. Just gonna let everyone take the noose-like properties of that bit of cloth and the lake and the extreme morbidness of this frame. Let us just hit the Windows key and take a little screenshot there, and I'll do my magic editing that down the line, because that should prove useful.
The beavers in the world, American and Eurasian, and they might have had a common ancestor called a beaver. That does not prove that the beaver is related to the butterfly. This is public school textbook. This is stupid. Beavers never stop growing. Beavers and kangaroos are the only mammals that never stop growing. And today, beavers get about 3 feet long. But they find fossil beavers 8 feet long. And they put a sign by them that says 90 million years ago. Okay, here, this is before the flood came.
How often do you go out west? When was the last time you've been
I
out?
don't travel at all. I stay here.
Every time my truck drive out there and I just see the layers. They're just so beautiful.
Dish number 5, 2,000 feet from dish 6 on top of the sand dune way over there.
Oh, wow.
But dish 7 and 8 teach one of the greatest lessons in life. They are 3,000 feet apart. And when you talk between 7, write that down. 6-second delay. You're going to need that one day, son. Write that down. 6-second delay. After she talks, wait 6 seconds before you answer. Am I sure I really want to say this?
Are you sure you really want to do what you did to Cindy?
You stood there after 6 seconds, right? I will hear it.
Yeah.
I will hear his voice.
Well, we have an argument with your wife. You wait 6 seconds before you answer. Okay. If you look down the dam, all the trees are in a straight
Yeah, that was an anorexia joke.
line. All over the south, they plant trees in straight lines, like a crop of corn. That bottom picture shows the map of where they do this. They plant trees in a straight line because they grow faster and they grow straighter. And they raise them for telephone poles, for lumber, and for plywood. when you see a row of trees, you know somebody did that. Well, why can't they look at a brain cell through a microscope and know somebody did that? A row of trees is nothing compared to a brain cell. Well, our heron. There are 64 different kinds of herons in the world. They might have had a common ancestor called a heron.
Can't really blame them. They're in an open top Jeep, but man, you gotta love that audio. We can totally hear what Kent's saying. It's all good though. He's definitely not saying anything important, and honestly, I'd rather hear the engine sound and the wind sound. I'm not gonna lie, some elements of that gravel pit are a little too nice to be wasted on someone like Kent. I kind of like the way it looks out there, getting a chance to see it from this perspective. I swear I heard, how long have you been using an oxygen tank? Also, you see the two eyes in the mouth in the console right there? You'll never unsee it. Say hello to the face on the dash of Hoven's Jeep.
You notice the difference?
I don't have time to get in it much. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm almost never home either. I'm dreaming of how to make it in the truck.
Hey guys.
That's just my slave labor working in the fields of Dinosaur Adventureland, Hoven.
Cows from Indonesia. They're called zebus. They're full grown. We have one large cow. Her name is Holy Cow. They're waiting for food. Come on, Billy.
That amuses me. Holy cow. That's actually funny.
The zebu bulls have been trying to reach, and they can't reach that high, so the neighbor's bull jumped over the fence a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Spent the day. We're not sure what happened, but she's pregnant now.
Oh.
Take a look at this sign here. You won't believe this. You would think an animal with hooves, before it's born, if it starts kicking inside the mother, it will kill the mother. No. Hoofed animals have cartilage pads growing under their hoof. They're called fairy fingers. They can't hurt the mother. After they're born, the first 2 minutes, they're standing up, walking around, and they wear them off.
Wow.
Most people have never heard of them or seen them. Did the mother evolve those on the baby for her protection? Did the baby evolve them knowing he was hurting mama? Or maybe they were designed by God? How can they? It had to be designed. Yeah. No.
Except it didn't, Kent.
I used to love to eat Cocoa Puff cereal until I followed the sheep around. It doesn't taste the same anymore. Cocoa. Okay, let's head back. Come here, guys. Come here. Zebus have a hunk of fat on their back. They can go for 2 or 3 weeks without eating or drinking. I had a neighbor growing up. He could have gone 4 years off his.
Oh, and now we got the fat guy jokes.
All right, let's go. The world record for a cow giving milk, 280 pounds every day.
280 pounds?
34 gallons a day for a cow.
Look at these Ferraris, so fragile, right? One little thing incorrectly, and they quit running. Same with nature, everything has to be designed perfectly.
No, it doesn't. The interconnections you see are the result of evolutionary developments happening independent and the various creatures happening to take advantage of the niche one way or another. You can think of it like plant roots tangling up. It's pretty much like that.
Nature's even more forgiving. God's smart enough to design it for flexibility.
What's up, macaw bird? What's up? Hello. Can it talk? There's another friendly bird right there.
It is Dinosaur Adventureland, and to be fair, I've seen quite a few dinosaurs.
Okay, let's see this thing. Ilya's gonna try it before church. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that face. Faster? Faster!
I hate when it does that.
Yeah.
Really love that big rusty hole right there. It looks like a damn incendiary round from fucking Abrams hit it.
Wow. You like that? I look enough. So, a fun morning so far. Real nice and quiet. Great place to camp. Looks like they like their Jeeps around here. So I made it on a Sunday. Let's go to church. Jess.
Let's don't and say we did, but hey, at least this is what going into GBC is like. And I ain't talking Game Boy Color.
This is Baptist Church. So we're inside.
Oh, we didn't get an actual walk-in. Oh my god, YouTube, stop doing this. Thank you, I should probably just use
The
K.
church here. Church is about to start. That's how it looks. Got a lot of books on the bookshelf. So here's the one.
Yeah, I wasn't being sarcastic. I was meaning there are a bunch of dinosaurs. Like, there really are. Dude! Check it out! It's Dino Lamp! Hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, there's the giant creepy baby face. Oh, so that's what the current setup looks like from, any kind of perspective other than the one that's always filmed at. Oh, Dino Lamp, good to see ya. This is back when you still worked sometime.
Let's test out these mics here.
And I guess that's his teleprompter /slide/ mirrored screen. So I'm guessing his main laptop has whatever it has on it. He projects his slideshow onto that, or the video he's watching, and that video feed is what is put into the corner over there. When it's muxed in from the live video feed of the cameras, and then gets sent out through a restream. Okay. That to be the green screen that Pastor Meister uses. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is part of why we're watching this. Figure out some of these things.
Green screen and everything.
This is when Sandro's still there and they did their damn singing. So they project the live stream onto the wall. The whole damn live stream. Okay, it works.
When my cross is heavy, I shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I can get it right over Will's head.
I don't know why some of your slides show, and then look at this one go. It's super odd.
Here in Sandra Hogan at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama at Genesis Baptist Church.
This was in October of last year.
October the 20th, and we'll be in Psalm chapter 30. We're going to take a rabbit trail this morning about the gift of tongue.
Okay, make a note. It's Psalm 30. If we were to go back to that video, I'm going to guess that we will end up seeing our friend here in it.
From Psalm chapter 30, wherever you can help us out, call Center 855 Dino extension 1 if you have any questions about that. Go to our website. 8.
So I'm on the stage here, and there's Kent. We're going to lunch. So, yeah, that's how my day's going. Church is over. Keep going.
Okay, the human body is made from the dust of the ground, from minerals. God made it, designed it, and some of the minerals need to be replenished. You use them up. Your car, when you drive it, you use up the gasoline. You don't use up the brake fluid, but you better have some brake fluid, or you're going to have a problem, okay? There's quite a few things your car needs that it uses but doesn't use up. Other things it uses up, like air and gasoline, the two most common to understand. Windshield washer fluid, you use that up if you need it. So your body has some minerals that it needs to be replenished all the time. That's your gasoline. You got to constantly be adding more. Others, you better have some in there, and it may not use it all the time. It just needs to be there. So Patrick Urish is one of our board members. He's up in Pennsylvania. He is an absolute genius with nutrition and what vitamins and minerals you need.
Oh, this is going to get really, really wrong really quickly. Also, I was eating a bit of chicken, so I'm going to go back a little bit. When they turn for a reason.
Air and gasoline, the two most common.
Notice that they took a right off of Pearl Lane. Now, when Serge was coming to DAL, he was coming from the opposite direction. He was coming back from where they are. So he's coming from the north. They're driving on the south. He took a left to get to Pearl Lane. They're taking a right out of Pearl Lane. Look for the building on your right coming up.
Common to understand. Windshield washer fluid, you use that up if you need it. So your body has some minerals that it needs.
Kent rolls the window up right there. That's kind of telling.
To be replenished all the time. That's your gasoline. You got to constantly.
That little bit right there, this is the lane I'm talking about.
Be adding more.
Trailer, boom. That's Cindy's place. For context. Those of you who haven't gone into the details, that's the spot. So he happens to roll the window up right before they go there. That's pretty freaking telling.
Others be there. He's up in Pennsylvania. He's an absolute genius with nutrition and what vitamins and minerals you need. Different problems. You said you have a problem with allergic to bees?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if Patrick is out of church yet. Let me call him. It's an hour different.
There we go. We're at the experiments that blow.
So fast. That's the Venturi effect. Wow. So the vacuum's in this tube, and it translates. It's like exhaust on the car. It's like the X pipe. Why the X pipe works on a car? Exhaust, right?
Venturi works because it goes wider and the air goes faster when wider. X5 it's a little bit different.
X pipe.
Oh, good. That's all the Science Center will get.
The dam down there had broken, and so they fixed it back. Before they fixed it, we put it down.
Well, I refer to it as her property because it was hers at, it was hers at a point, and for context, when everything went down, that's where she was at. That's where the Steve Lynn stuff happened. And yeah, possible that she still owns it. That's the thing. I mean, I could go back and try to look at the records again, but I'm not 100%. I'll see if I can give that a go, though.
Dam across here to hold the water so we could fix the big one. But it looks like a dinosaur from the sky. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Anyway, 8 years ago, I cut a notch in the top of the dam to let the water start coming over the top. 1 shovel wide, 4 inches deep. The water went pouring through, And in 4 minutes, that notch was 8 feet wide.
Whoa.
You can't stop it now. If you want to stop it, you better stop it here, right? The Bible says arguments are like that. The best time to stop an argument is when it first gets going.
Who has time to read all that? Good God.
Have you ever had an argument over something stupid that kept getting bigger and deeper and wider, but you got a canyon over nothing? Like, what are we fighting about? You know? After 7 minutes, the whole dam was washed out. Go on YouTube, Genesis Baptist Church. They took down our channel. They got
Prophetic words.
a new one, Genesis Baptist Church. And type in dam break. You can watch it happen. 7 minutes to wash out the dam. They tell the kids in public school it took millions of years to make Grand Canyon. Millions of years to make Grand Canyon. Millions of years, millions of years. No, teacher. It took millions of gallons of water. And probably 7 days. Ours took 7.
Yeah, Grayson's video is pretty damn cool. I've been considering us watching that. But then I just stumbled across this one earlier and was like, we'll make that this evening's stream.
Minutes to wash out. Okay, theirs is bigger than ours. I'll give them 7 days. I'll give them 7 months. But you don't need millions of years.
No.
There's a great big dam across Arizona called the Kaibab Plateau. It's a natural dam. It's a ridge, like a wrinkle in your carpet, all the way across the state. Grand Canyon cuts right across it. That ridge is a mile high and 200 miles wide, with Grand Canyon cutting across it. Well, if you plugged up Grand Canyon, a big lake would fill up over here called Grand Lake. Grand Lake would go all the way back to Colorado, New Mexico. All that water drains through Grand Canyon. And if you plugged up Grand Canyon today, those lakes would form again. Might take 100 years for the rain to fill them up, but they would form a lake. Eventually, they're going to get too deep and go over the top. What happens when any lake goes over the top? It starts eroding the other side. The water's coming over here, erodes this side, the erosion goes backwards. Well, the water goes this way, and it washes a gash across it. There's this big ridge all the way across Arizona, great big ridge.
Yeah, Grayson did debate Kent live at DAL.
The river
Also, what kind of Pokemon is that? Is that a Hovendon? It evolves into Saucit
comes in,
when you take away its tax stone?
goes right across it. Well, if you plugged up that gap, a great big lake would fill up. When it finally gets too full, goes over the top, starts eroding over here, and pretty soon, Grand Canyon probably
Let's just in, grown man plays in the dirt, film at 11.
formed in a week. Not millions of years. What do you think happened right here? There. What would you guess happened right there? The dam broke.
Yeah, dam broke.
What would you guess happened here? Dam broke.
Oh, yeah.
What about here? Or here? It happens all the time.
Right.
It's a miniature Grand Canyon. And when it doesn't wash away the whole dam, it doesn't need to.
That is not a miniature Grand Canyon. Are any of those dams made of granite? Solid granite and other layers?
Cuts a notch, drains the water.
Oh, I'm gonna have to see.
The Tom Sauk Reservoir in St. Louis is huge. Here's a guy standing next to it. Giant concrete reservoir. It got too full of water in 2005, went over the top, broke a piece off the side, and lost 1.5 billion gallons of water in 10 minutes.
Whoa.
That lake in Michigan broke.
Wow. Wow.
What, 5 years ago now? The dam broke. It was in the news all the time. It lost 21 billion gallons of water in 1 hour. San Francisco Bay is a washed out dam. There's a mountain range here and a mountain range here and a gap in the middle. If you plugged up that gap, a big lake would fill up in the middle of California today.
Yep.
I think it got too full maybe 50 years after the flood. Just guessing. Went over the top, washed out San Francisco Bay, and left behind the best dirt in the world.
The salad bowl.
The lake bottom. 25% of all of America's food comes out of that valley. How's that for a pickle?
Whoa.
And I think San Francisco needs to be washed out again. That's a different
Ooh. Piss off, Hovend.
story.
Yeah.
Okay, hop down, let's go. Camp records 10 days. Come on, Benji. Here's our Alabama redneck swing and lob. Put a kid on there and jump on the other end, see how high you can launch them. You guys ever heard of kudzu vines? Do you have those where you live? There's kudzu growing up that tree. That grew this summer. It grows a foot a day. It's one of the fastest growing plants in the world.
Wow.
They brought kudzu vines in from Japan in 1876 to stop erosion. Well, it's taken over the whole southeast United States. It kills everything it grows on by simply hogging the sunlight.
Wow.
Nothing else can grow that fast.
Right. But it's good still?
Well, you can eat it. It's a good plant. It's good for lots of things.
Oh.
But it's just, it takes over.
Fatal to a tree. Yeah.
Here it is taking over a house, taking over a whole village.
What?
Yep. When they brought kudzu vines in, they thought it'd be a good idea. Have you ever had what you thought was a good idea and turned out later that was not a good idea?
Yeah.
Kudzu was not a good idea.
So are you going to try to control the kudzu?
No, we feed it to the cows, the goats, they love it.
Oh, wow.
It's dam broke before we got the property. On the other side, made a great big U-shaped canyon. So we used all the dirt from the left to build the new dam. So now you get to see half a canyon. All this washed out in minutes.
Whoa.
Look at that erosion.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, that's really the Grand Canyon. Also, isn't that all just sandy, silty soil at best? That's not rocks. And by rocks, I mean sedimentary stone and the like.
Wow.
Stay overnight in cabins. There's 30 cabins people stay in. They're free.
Wow.
You can go up on the sand dune where the cross is and watch the stars. It's unbelievable out here.
Did you get to see the comet?
We have seen quite a few. I don't know which one.
I think it just came through like October. It's still going till October 26th, but I think you have to see it with binoculars. It's just.
Or the grandma tour. Because you get a certificate when we get back. Would you like a real tour or a grandma tour? Real. A real tour.
Go sit down for that.
Grandma tour is boring, you know, but it's a treat. Hey, we'll take the real tour.
Here he goes, driving like a maniac.
Brother, I think this Jeep will go 60 to 0 in 1 second when you hit a tree. These three trees teach a great lesson. They all followed each other's bad example and went crooked together. If you ever done something dumb because you're with a friend who was dumb, you wouldn't have done it by yourself. But if you get dumb and put them together, there's no telling what they will do. The Bible says, a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Best way to wreck your life, have stupid friends.
You could be like Joe Hovind and marry a complete dumbass and watch your life get ruined. Spend a year in prison just because your husband's a piece of shit. Howard.
There's a bottle of water here. That crooked tree teaches three great lessons. When it was little, something got in its way. It decided to go around it. Lesson number one, you got problems in life, go around it, keep growing. Lesson two, if you start off life crooked, you can always straighten up. Lesson three, if you want to straighten up your life, you got to do what the tree did and follow the light. See, Jesus is the light of the world. The Bible's a light to my path. If you follow the light, your life straightens up.
Yes, that's why you spent time in prison. That's why you're a convicted spousal abuser. Yeah, Kent. That's why prison's full of nothing but atheists. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's not.
A tree with no brain can handle that.
So pollution from water?
They call it river rock. Oh, no, teacher. This is flood rock. These layers of gravel go for 500 miles. That's not a river.
That's incredible. Yeah.
These layers of gravel, believe it or not, were made by the moon. I'll show you when we get down here in that building. You understand? You don't
Jeez, how many parabolic dishes do they have at this place?
understand yet. You will
Practice
understand
the pause.
someday.
Practice the pause.
Practice the pause.
I couldn't get a good look.
I'll show you on the other side how the moon here is not serious moon. When we got the property, we stocked.
Those aren't different geographic layers. Or geologic layers, excuse me. And if some of them are, an expert could correct me on that, feel free, but, you know.
Filled the lakes with baby fish. They went crazy in this lake. One guy caught a fish out of here. Hold your hand up over there, brother. That fish was that far from the boat. Just the picture weighed 12 pounds. 4 guys to carry the picture.
No.
Well, this is where you'll be staying tonight, so eat a dick.
Probably lost
Mu-
some bone.
Much of it.
Oh my god, what the hell is this place? What the fuck kind of 18 levels of crazy is this? Hold me, I'm scared.
These red dots are the gravel pits from Alabama to North Carolina. 500 miles of gravel. The layers go like that. Gravel, sand, clay, gravel, sand, clay, for 500 miles. And they were made by the moon. The moon's up there right now pulling on our water, making a bump called the high tide.
Water.
Folks in Illinois don't worry about the tide, but in Florida you worry about the tide, okay?
Yeah.
It holds that bump like a magnet. We're spinning around every day. So we get to see high tide, low tide, high tide, low tide. It would change every 6 hours, except the moon is moving, which messes it up to 6 hours, 12 and a half minutes. Okay, who cares? Right now, tide goes up and down in Florida about 4 feet because it bangs into something every time called Florida. Tide's coming up, hits the beach, can't go any higher. What if Florida was gone? What if all the continents were gone? What if you push them all down, smooth out the world? How deep would the water be? Well, they know the oceans average 12,000 feet deep. If it had to cover the whole world, including the continents, it'd be 8,800 feet of water, 1.5 miles everywhere. There's enough water in the oceans to cover the whole world 1.5 miles deep. Well, if the world was covered with water, the tide would not bang into Florida. The tide would not bang into anything. So the tide could become harmonic, and the tide would begin going up and down 200 feet instead of 4 feet. And it would do that every 6 hours, 12 and a half minutes.
Wow.
Well, if the water came up 200 feet, where's all the water coming from to fill that big bump? Sideways. Moon's gravity pulls it straight up, but it sucks it in from all 4 sides. See, the moon's about this big compared to the Earth. It holds that bump of water like a magnet. We're spinning around. So from
Mood isn't that close.
the east, it's always sucking water in at the same speed the Earth is turning the other way. Well, how fast is the world turning? It depends where you're standing on it. If you're at the North Pole, 0. You just turn around once a day. But if
No, it doesn't matter where you're standing on it. It's a 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob.
you're at the equator, it's over 1,000 miles an hour. If you're in Lenox, Alabama, 31 degrees north, we're turning almost 900 miles an hour right here, right now. If the water was come rushing in at 900 miles an hour, it would take all the rocks and roll them against each other like a rock tumbler does. You put broken rocks in a rock tumbler, put them in here, roll it around for a couple of weeks, they all come out smooth. They call it river rock. Oh, no, teacher. This is not river rock. This is from the flood of Noah. This is flood rock. It's worldwide. That's not a river.
Wow.
Now, if you be real quiet and listen to it, just listen. Listen. Come on, try it. It's playing rock music. Hard rock. Playing Rolling Stones. Remember them?
Remember Dim? 1, the Stones are still around. 2, they're still in the cultural zeitgeist. 3, yeah, that's rock, but I mean they're still pretty damn light and poppy. They're not really. I mean, Roy Gallagher's got more hardcore stuff than they do, and he's a blues guy. Was a blues guy. He died.
You keep it. You want to listen to it all the way home? We got lots. You want to keep one? You listen to it. Pick one.
Listen to it all the way home. Listen to both sides, okay?
Yes, you would be amused by a rock music joke. Sorry, I'm being mean to you. Sorry. Used to you used to reacting to dimwits. You're probably really more just placating Kent because you just awkwardly have to do that when you're around him.
Blonde. I got my wife
Let's Hovind get mad.
is blonde too. Okay. When you walk along the beach, you can find a million seashells. You hardly ever find two that match. As soon as a clam dies, it opens and somebody eats it, the crabs or the seagulls or the fish. Right? But all over the world, petrified clams are found in the closed position. Petrified, closed clams. Well, wait a minute. Had to be buried alive and buried fast. If the water's coming up 200 feet and coming in at 900 miles an hour, I think it'd make a layer of mud.
If you listen to Flood Rocks, you can hear the screams of drowning babies. It's drowning babies. Drowning, yes.
50 feet thick in about 5 seconds and bury the clams alive. They find petrified closed clams on top of Mount Everest.
Wow.
I think maybe there was a flood like the Bible says. The clam would be buried instantly. When it wakes up dead, it can't even open. And it might take a year to petrify.
When it wakes up dead, it can't even open.
Turn to stone. They can petrify things in the lab in 20 minutes, 24 hours. Turn them to stone. But under natural conditions, about a year to turn to stone.
Yes, Kent, that's why we find fossils everywhere. Why don't you go buy some KFC, bury it in your sand pit, and come back and see if it's petrified?
Petrified clams are found all over the world. Now, in some parts of the world, they like to eat oysters. You guys eat oysters?
No.
Me neither. The world's biggest oyster is 14 inches. It's in Denmark at a restaurant. Guinness Book.
I love how he constantly gives of a dimension, but not with the criteria being measured. It's not 14-inch diameter, radius, circumference, whatever. I said 14 inches. Okay. It's a little ambiguous there, buddy.
World Record says that's the world's biggest. But when they climbed the mountains in Peru, South America, they found 500 fossil oysters.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had to sign a consent form to laugh at Kimba, go through DAL. You agree you'll laugh at Hovind's jokes, or else? Under penalty of drowning?
All bigger than the world's record.
Wow.
Those are people standing there. There's a guy laying on one. The biggest oyster they found up there was 11 feet. This is 2 miles above sea level. How do you explain an 11-foot oyster at all, let alone 2 miles above sea level? Well, it's easy. You just put up a sign that says 200 million years ago and walk away. No teacher.
Easy. You just say, there was some global flood that's totally impossible, but we believe it through magic, and everything's fine.
The Bible says before the flood came in the days of Noah, the people lived to be 900. Everything that never stops growing, like lizards, turtles, beavers, oysters, is going to get huge if they can live to be 900. They're just finding giant creatures from before the flood. All the fossils probably formed in the flood. Fossils aren't forming today. How many animals died in the last 5 years in the world?
Oh, so now fossils aren't forming today, even though they are. But of course you expect it to take only a year.
Hundreds of millions. How many turned to fossils? None. Probably all the fossils we find are from the flood of Noah. One more thought, we'll quit. The Bible says,
Then, Kent, why are there so many species that in no way, shape, or form are at all represented today, yet simultaneously were supposed to have existed pre-flood? It's weird.
Noah was in that ark for over a year.
See, I thought all the kinds were supposed to be saved. So why do we have kinds that clearly weren't saved?
12 and a half months in the ark. It rained for 40 days, but the water kept coming up for 150 days.
Wow.
Because the fountains of the deep broke open. The water came from inside the earth to flood the world. Then the Bible says the ark rested in the 7th month. Well, if he rested in the 7th month, why didn't he get out? Because it's still muddy outside and there's nothing to eat. By waiting 5 more months, everything starts growing again. How long does it take for a garden to grow and harvest? 3 months?
How long does it take for a garden to grow in salted earth, Kent?
And everything dried out. But during those 7 months, Noah saw 880 tidal changes. The water's not only coming up and down, he would not even feel that. It's rushing in and out. And it's a sideways movement of trillions of tons of water filling the tidal bump, emptying the tidal bump, filling the tidal bump, emptying the...
As he's talking about tidal pumps, he has this part in his slide that says dissolved load. You should have been a dissolved load.
Tidal bump. Back and forth 880 times. That's what made all the layers to the earth. And that's what rounded off all the rocks. All over the world, even the big ones are rounded. Wait a minute. They call it river rock. Teacher, that's from the flood of Noah. And it's worldwide. But in 1830, they started teaching kids one of the dumbest things in world history.
Old man hovering with his stick, and he's talking about 1830. Let's see what he has to say about 1830.
They began teaching kids that the layers to the earth form this way, and the top layer's younger. They made up what they call today the geologic column, and they gave each layer a different name: Jurassic, Triassic, Mississippian, Devonian. It's all baloney. Doesn't exist anywhere in the world except the textbook. There is no geologic column. They say the top layer's younger. I say, really? Would you please tell me where it came from? Did that layer come from outer space?
Take a drink, you said it.
Where's this new dirt coming from? If this dirt's 2.5 billion years old and this is only 10,000 years old, where was all that dirt hanging out for 2.4999 billion years?
Me scratching.
The geologic column doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Look at how sun-faded those charts are. Being outdoors does not help any of his printouts. I'm amazed most of them have survived, even laminated to this degree. Although you know they've been replaced a couple of times. The budget on ink and printer paper at DAL? Astronomical.
That's the Bible for the atheist. All over the world, petrified trees are found standing up, running through all the layers. Well, excuse me. If you got a petrified tree standing up, running through all the layers, how long does a dead tree stand around where you're from before it falls over?
Not long.
2 years, maybe?
They fall over alive.
Yeah, that's true, okay. But certainly not millions of years. Now, if that tree is standing there and every tide makes a new layer every 6 hours, 12.5 minutes, well, yeah, I could believe that. The tree could stand there for a year and get hundreds of tides. All those layers formed around that tree in 1 year. But they're going to tell your neighbor kids in school, clams are found at the bottom because clams evolved first. No, teacher, maybe clams are found at the bottom because they're already at the bottom when the flood starts. That's where they live. Wouldn't they be the first ones buried? Mm-hmm. They say, well, birds are found on top because birds evolved last. Well, teacher, maybe birds are found on top because they're the last ones to drown in a flood.
He said
When
drowned.
They have hollow feathers, hollow bones, they float. Of course they're found on top. Nothing to do with evolution.
Except it's not as clear-cut as that. Everything has a range in which it'll be found. These things overlap. You never find humans in the same layers as dinosaurs. You don't find modern anything in the same layers as dinosaurs and the like. It's funny that you don't find them up top, even the avian ones. You think you'd find the avian dinosaurs up top along with the birds. Funny how that works.
But you'd be surprised. All the kids in your neighborhood.
By avian dinosaurs, I was making the misnomer for the pterodactyls, which aren't dinosaurs. I think they don't qualify. But, you know. I'm tired. This is wearing me out.
They're being taught about this. And it's the biggest lie in world history. Doesn't exist anywhere. I debate atheists all the time. I've had 369 debates now. Say, guys, If the top layer is younger, where did it come from? Is the Earth being dipped in caramel every few minutes to make a new layer? No. All the layers are the same age. If you shuffle a deck of cards, is the top card younger? If I flip this over
Constant laughing. Stop, dude.
and it makes 20 layers, are those layers different ages? No, they're all in here at the same time. That's what we got to fight against, so stupid stuff. You can spend all day in here learning about the Ice Age, where that fits into the Bible and all that stuff. But, all right, let's hop in the Jeep. Last one in's got to pay for the gas.
Tell me about this.
These are some seashells a guy found in someplace, forget, North Carolina or Tennessee. Mountains of it. Just packed seashells together. Noah's flood.
We went down into a cave and they were talking about like how certain
You wouldn't have the moon, we have the fully covered earth of water. You wouldn't have the moon. Right?
If we don't have the moon, we have the full Earth covered in water?
No. If the Earth were smooth, the moon just makes the water go up and down. Actually, it holds the water while we turn under it. But to us, it looks like the water goes up and down from the tide. But no, if the moon was gone, we wouldn't have. Over here, there's a layer of gravel and pure clay right
Oh, thank you. You finally cut him off.
underneath it. These layers go for 500 miles to North Carolina. Well, if the water's going back and forth at 900 miles an hour, it's going to make a layer of gravel in 30 minutes from here to North Carolina. All these layers probably took 3 days. Best water in the world, huh? If you drink well water, your babies will be born naked. You like the water? There's where Rex drove the excavator, and he should not have. Alright, when you go up a sand dune in a Jeep, don't go halfway and stop. And then try to start again. Because even in four-wheel drive, you'll be stuck. The secret is build up speed and keep moving. This is like your homework. If your homework's due on Friday, don't wait till Thursday to open the book. How many of you waited till the last night to try to read the whole book and do the book report in one night?
I do every time.
Come on now. This is like your bills. If your bills are due on the 30th, don't wait till the 29th to start looking at them. You can learn a lot from a sand dune. Build up speed, keep moving. Build up speed, keep moving. Build up speed, keep moving.
Here's an even more terrifying thought instead of supersonic water. Supersonic Hovland. Flying in at the speed of sound. It's Kent Hovland, the bullshit man. Yes.
That's our Dinosaur Adventureland hotel. It was $100 a night till we added the cable and the dish on the front. So now with cable and dish, $150 a night. Outdoor bathroom, girls on the right, because girls are always right, you know. You ever heard of a 5-star hotel? You can see all the stars through that roof. That's an all-star hotel. When it rains, the water comes off the hill and goes that way. So the water's going that way, but the erosion's coming this way. That's the way all dams wash out, far side in. That's the way Niagara Falls formed. Niagara Falls, the water's flowing north, breaking rocks off. Niagara Falls is moving south, 4.7 feet a year. But it's only moved 7 miles from where it started. It'd be like maybe 5,000 years ago. Noah's flood. There's a little tree right here. It's curved already. Look at that. He had a rough childhood somehow. Not sure what happened to the poor guy, but he didn't give up. We don't know what happened here either, but we came up one day and found all these trees, decided to get away from that one. I don't know why, but there's a good lesson there. There's some people you should just get away from. Just get away.
Especially me, Kent Hovland. You should get away from me right now. This is your final warning. You didn't listen. Now you're going to get what's coming to you, Hovland.
The Bible says don't go with an angry man, don't go with a furious man, don't go with a wicked man. Just get away.
And you're all those things, Kent.
All you can do. There's 3 more trees that followed each other.
You know, the reason those trees are all like that, they're always happen to be grouped together. They were probably under the same sorts of particular stresses, particular conditions as they were growing, since they are adjacent to one another. It's funny how that works. Also, you're mixing up literal crookedness with metaphorical crookedness. But of course, that's all anyone in theology has is weak analogies.
All right, now this will be complicated. There are 43 different kinds of deer in the world, and they might have had a common ancestor called a deer. Textbook says
She'd stop with that laughing, it'd be wonderful. It's so fucking pathetic.
the deer are related to the sunflower and the frog and the bumblebee. That's called stupid in my book. Real stupid. We put corn in here, but the
I remind you, this is what Ken Hovind spends his life doing. Aside from watching World War II documentaries and doing other unspeakable things that, I say other unspeakable things like World War II documentaries are unspeakable. But anyway, the man was watching Mark Felton, for God's sake. I love Mark Felton videos. It's like, I hear that recognizable theme tune, and it's like, Kent, this is what you're doing? I mean, I'm all for watching World War II documentaries, but man, you talk about how busy you are, you ain't doing shit. When you are out doing shit, all it is this. Saying the same shit day in, day out. Good Lord, get a life.
corn is for squirrels only. Any deer caught eating that corn will be shot and taken to the freezer. Fair warning. The Bible says a wise son hears his father's instruction. It's always good to get dad's advice because in 42 states and 14 foreign countries, parents are older than their children. So it's good to get dad's advice. You say, Dad, should I go down this hill? He would say, son, do not go down that hill in a Jeep. But Dad, it looks like fun. Come on, Dad, come on, Dad. He'll say, son, I've seen it from the other side. You don't want to go down that hill. So now I have to decide if I'm going to take Dad's advice. I tell the boys on the tour, someday you're going to bring home a girlfriend. Say, Dad, what do you think? She's beautiful. They'll say, son, she's not godly. She doesn't love the Lord. I know, Dad, but she's pretty. He'll say, son, she's not always going to be pretty. Oh, yeah, Dad, she's always going to be pretty. He'll say, boy, get in the car. Let's go to the nursing home. See those old ladies there, son? That's what you get in 50 years. Pick out which one you want. That's what everybody gets in 50 years, son. Why don't you find one that loves the Lord? Can she cook?
Ugh. You're making me sick with this, Kent. The person you love is always going to be beautiful to you in more ways than just the perceived physical. They're still going to be them, and they're still going to carry some of the same features. Being very serious, a lot of what we find in beauty is involved in bone structure and such, positions, particular nuances of facial shape and the like, anatomy that don't change even with age. The ability for us to actually recognize people is based on those particular traits. So, yeah, if you find the person pretty at one point, unless they do drastically change, you're still going to find them pretty in one way or another. And by drastically change, I mean they actually change their physical shape, like plastic surgery and shit. Feel like this is some thinly disguised misogynistic shit, especially given the way he's rotated through replacement wives. But I don't know.
She speak English. There's more than beauty. Anyway, Dad says, don't go. But to the visitors, would you like to try it?
Of course.
Of course.
Uh-oh.
Want to try it?
I see. The
Should I do it sitting or standing?
I would say, let's see if Dad gives good advice. Come on.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, here we come. It's the skeletons, everyone.
Oh, no. Yikes. Nobody tells me what to do. I did it my way.
Come on.
Yeah, see,
Have you ever done something dumb because you did not listen to good advice? Yeah, let's go. If you want to go, bring your own Jeep. Sign the waiver. I bet $5 you can't do it twice in one day. Over half the visitors vote. Yeah, let's go. Don't change your mind up here. You know, from back here, it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
No, not really.
A lot of things look good when you're first going into it. Joining the Marines, getting married, having kids, buying that new truck. It all looks good.
Starting a ministry, avoiding paying your taxes, but then you spend 9 years in prison.
Ferrari.
And then instead of taking responsibility, you blame everyone else.
Yeah, it looks good going in.
So how did those marks get there? Was there an actual erosion that happened?
No,
or what?
I put it.
Oh, you put them in. Okay.
When you travel out west to Arizona or New Mexico or Utah,
Ah, he brought up New Mexico again. You can't bring up New Mexico. That's illegal, Kent. Only people who are cool can bring up New Mexico. Like the rest of us, not you.
there's something called a mesa. Mesa is the Spanish word for table. It's a tall column of dirt, flat rock on top. There's a city called Mesa, Arizona. The other kids, these mesas took millions of years to form.
No, it was, I'm 99% sure it was Mary Toko.
No teacher. They took millions of gallons of water and probably 20 minutes. I'll show you. Every time it rains, we get hundreds of thousands of little mesas all over our gravel pit. Every rock become a mesa. As it rains, it washes away the sand unless it's protected under a rock. How many little mesas do we have here?
And look at the big rocks on top of them. It's pretty cool. It's exactly
Once
what it
you
looks
start
like.
seeing them, you can't stop seeing them.
Look at that. That's
Every
so
rain.
cool.
Every rainstorm. It doesn't take millions of years.
When we went to Colorado,
Yes, and it says, okay, that is pretty cool. But that's harder clumps of dirt that were erosion resistant. That's not little mesas. I mean, it does look fucking cool.
like they had rocks like that precariously on top of other things, and I was like, only a flood could explain something like that. There's no way anybody could move that rock. That's amazing. Do you mind if I take a picture?
Take all you want.
It's really cool.
Publish them on all the social media you want. So we don't advertise. We ask people that they like it, advertise for us. I don't think they can do it here to make faces.
That looks like little mini red rocks or something like that.
It's just a bunch of old rocks, bro.
Grand Canyon, and all layers and everything. Look at all the bases up the hillside here. Okay, this tree with the sign on it curving onto the hillside is a sassafras tree. They dig up the roots and make sassafras tea. You ever heard of root beer? That's what it's from. But tea is dangerous. Do not drink tea. There was an Indian once that drank 4 gallons of iced tea. That night he drowned in his teepee.
I have heard that joke before.
Oh my god, that was mildly funny, albeit still very crude. Man, this is wearing me out. It's too much Hovend.
He drowned in his TV. I'll go
Right.
that way.
These trees are strange. All the branches go that way. Why don't the branches come this way? There's no sunlight. A tree with no brain at all, no brain, is smart enough to know, send the branch where it does some good for the tree. If only people could be that smart. I can understand a 3-year-old playing with a ball for a while. I don't understand a bunch of 30-year-olds paying money to watch a bunch of 30-year-olds all go play with the same ball.
Kent, you're an average person in pro football is like in their 20s. You know, you're already old by 30 in most sports.
They can all afford to go buy 2 of their own. Oh, you got to fight over that one. This guy took his blonde girlfriend to her first ever football game. She'd never been to one. After the game, he said, "Honey, how did you like the game?" She said, "Well, I like the big muscles, but I don't understand the 25 cents.
game, they flipped a coin. And for the next hour, they were screaming, "Get the quarterback, get the quarterback." Honey, it's just a quarter. Let it go. You did not listen to
Dumb blonde jokes.
Dad. The kids all lay down and Dad gets a picture. Dad, you can use this picture when they get ready to do something stupid. Show them this picture. Take my advice, boy. Now, if you go real fast, I'm talking real fast, die over here. Like this, who went the furthest before they died? Red bragging rights.
I don't know if I want to swim in that lake.
It's raining. If it's moving, it's windy. If it's hopping up and down, there's an earthquake. It's amazing all the stuff. You can read the sign right there later. Oh, you can tell from the rock. The weather rock.
It's missing. The weather change.
It's missing. There's been a tornado.
Right.
Put the kid on the swing here and swing him in a great big circle. 3. We had those big eye bolts the power company uses to go through telephone banks.
I survived the real tour, huh? So we gotta put where we're from. Yeah. Right there.
Ah, look at dots near Memphis. Ugh. Ugh, that's disturbing.
Everybody that's visited. No rush on that.
Over there.
Oh. Wow, someone's been as far as here? Wow, that's insane.
Hey, dude, the world's round. That's actually not that far. Like, it is, but, you know, far into Russia isn't that crazy. I mean, Alaska's right there. Right fucking there.
Wow. Australia.
Antarctica, I don't know.
Or weather.
Really?
Arctic?
Really?
Wow.
I don't know. Interesting.
You like this land? I said, well, yeah. Here.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's
Wow,
that's without the head.
it's like 30 feet.
It was 24 feet long.
24 feet?
Is that anaconda or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Guy called me 4 years ago from North Carolina.
What about this Tesla coil? Or go ahead.
Oh yeah, works great.
Oh, that's what the Nikola. That's cute.
Nikolai Tesla. It changes. Oh, they'll scare the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's okay. She was here earlier. We did that earlier. She was okay.
It changes 120 volts to 300,000. Nikolai Tesla, pretty smart fellow, wasn't he? Yeah.
Awesome.
We have groups of kids come here and teach them all kinds. Here's our bookstore. If you want to do these things for you.
Yes.
Huh, do you want to buy some books? Here's a bookstore.
Yes,
We
yeah.
want them on the charts. Here's the zapper when you get stung by an insect.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
It's,
And here's my charts somewhere. Our daughter did the shipping. There should be a whole stack of those.
these charts?
Yes, yes. Take one of those, brother.
Thank
The
you.
Bible says Adam lived to be 930 years. Where'd the other couple go? Adam lived long enough to meet Noah's daddy.
They ran away while they had a chance.
Methuselah certainly knew Shem, his grandson, and Shem lived long enough to know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You won't catch that reading about. Other side tells all about Grand Canyon, how it formed rapidly. Take them home. Also, we have a bunch of flyers. You want to pass them out as you go. Every truck stop, every place you stop, pass them out like water. Let's see.
Also, if we're made from a dirt, shouldn't we stop driving on the dirt road? Because that's Grandpa, Holvin. I can turn the same joke around on you. And driving on Adam, Holvin.
You ready? Faith requires trust. You're not supposed to know the story. How it ends, you're supposed to surrender. Let's go, Ilya. You ready? Okay, go for it.
There you go, straight out. Just keep them out.
Cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun stuff to try here, huh? Next time when we come back.
I mean, if you're going to be hauling cars here, there, and everywhere, that's the way to do it. And we're done. That's the end of the video. Hey, look, there's when AJ was on doing AJ on Apologia. There's some other stuff I've been watching, random things, Sid Tunes, Atheist Experience, stuff on Jets, Dapper Dino, all that jazz, Big Bad Mama, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. All right. We did it. We made it to the end. We made it to the end. That was interesting. It was a whole lot more of the tour than I was hoping, than I expected. But it was an interesting bit of an insight onto what kind of stuff Kent says during the tour. The nature of the tour, I might be able to map out some stuff thanks to that. Getting a glimpse at at a reasonably current version of his stream setup was also interesting. That was something, I can say. Yeah, Mapleson, but that's literally what this dude does. So, that's Serge's thing. That's right. It's just as good as Disneyland, and contains just as many PDF files. Oddly enough, more of them are welcome than at Disneyland, but Or Pelagia, as Kent says, yep. What a delightful place. Can't wait to go there myself. Sarcasm. Yeah. Well, I'm worn right the fuck out. That was far more Hovind than I needed. He didn't stream last night, so that's part of why we hadn't looked at any at last night's open mic night, because there was no open mic night last night, Hovind. Yeah, I've had enough, more than enough. I'm going to enjoy my evening, probably hop in bed a little early so I can wake up super early, play Guild Wars for 5 minutes, then realize I'm bored and there's nothing for me to accomplish. I mean, there is stuff for me to do, but it's nothing I want to do. Like, it's just like, I don't want to start this. Welcome to the world of MMOs. But hey, I've been playing nonstop for almost a year again, so that's impressive. But anyway, enough about Guild Wars, enough about games, enough about all kinds of stuff. Glad we got to watch that together. Thanks to Serge for uploading it. Like I said earlier, to point, he's been told to be a pretty alright guy by a couple of people regulars in the community. So no hate. Thanks for sharing the video, dude. Much love, everyone. Catch y'all next time. Tomorrow morning we'll cover whatever Kent decided to stream for his Sunday morning stream, where he thankfully won't sing, I hope. All right. Later.